My name is Kim Billimoria. I work for the Yellowstone Business Partnership. The Yellowstone Business Partnership is a nonprofit organization that works on an ecosystem level. And so basically it was founded by a group of business people who recognize that if we're going to preserve the greater Yellowstone ecosystem, which is one of the last intact ecosystems in the world, that we have to harness the power of business. It's not enough to just work through litigation, environmental litigation. We have to harness the power of business and make the case, the business case for sustainability in order to preserve the ecosystem. And so what the Yellowstone Business Partnership does is it tries to create partnerships across the region and create programs that basically make that business case and engage businesses. So we have a number of different programs. One is Uncommon Sense, which is a sustainable business operations program that basically walks businesses through how they can make smart changes to the way they operate that not only benefit their bottom line, but also enhance the social and natural assets of the region and help with economic vitality in their communities. Our biggest asset is the natural resources and the sort of unparalleled wildlife and scenic vistas and just spectacular beauty of the region. And I think with technology now, a lot of people can choose where they want to live and then bring their work there as opposed to choosing where they live based on work. And so I think you're seeing more and more people who want to live in small communities and want to have access to the outdoors, and they're moving to the region. So I think that's something that communities can capitalize on, is those people who want to work, they want to be involved in the school system, they want to take advantage of recreational resources. So I think that's an opportunity. And I also think there's a geotourism opportunity, which is people are more environmentally aware, and so how do we make visiting the region, how do we sort of interpret that for people, make it something that they don't just come and get their picture in front of Old Faithful, but they understand a little bit of what it's going to take to actually preserve the park and preserve the bison herds and sort of take that back home with them. There's all these little communities surrounding the two parks that are all struggling with some of the same issues, fluctuations in the seasonal economy, the challenges of extreme sort of geography and weather, some relative isolation, and they're all dealing with the same issues, and they could learn from each other instead of trying to go it alone. And so one of the things YBP has done recently is help form a regional chamber network. And so getting together the various chambers of commerce in the region and have them start thinking about what's the kind of research and studies that they could collaborate on that would help inform their desire to further economic development in their communities, but also how could they collaborate on, for example, heightening the sort of geotourism profile of the entire region and by extension their communities. There is a whole demographic of people who are moving to the region who do want access to public transportation, or they would rather walk or ride their bike to work. So not everyone's looking to live out in the rural area on several acres of land. Some people are, but not everyone who's coming for a recreation lifestyle. So some of those sort of mixed use or new urbanists, or what we think of as kind of characteristically smart growth developments, have been successful. And the other thing I've also seen is sort of having public events in public spaces that really foster a sense of community. Teton Valley, Idaho has a Music on Main series that runs in the summer every Thursday night in the city park. They bring a band and it attracts thousands and thousands of people. People come from the surrounding area, but it also is just a community gathering place and focal point and good for local businesses. And so I think part of placemaking isn't just the built environment, but the sort of community events you hold in the places you already have. I think one of the really exciting things that has happened is that the area I live in has recently received one of the HUD Sustainable Communities grants, and it's allowing for a much greater level of conversation and planning between a four-county region that there are communities within that four-county region that are actually very, very different culturally, and now they're coming together to talk about, what are our shared natural resources and how can we, plan for, have some sort of base level communication and plan for how we preserve these resources and sort of connect up our recreational trailways. And so I think more partnerships like that are definitely going to help get us where we want to be in 10 to 15 years.